Morning, I was going to put up a post, but I felt it was easier if I just did a quick video talking about something that I've noticed over the last little while that I just think is going to help you guys if we go over it really quickly, just to try and progress through to some of your potential goals, especially when it pertains to things like gymnastics movements. So let's use this morning as an example. We're doing toaster bar in the workout today, and there's quite a number of people when they're doing toaster bar or a scaling option, what they're doing is they're doing the movement with their feet on the ground at the start of each repetition. So what we've got to look at is what's the reason for that? Are we doing that to make the movement easier, to get a better time in the workout? Um, in turn, if we're doing that for those reasons, we're probably doing it to mask something that potentially needs addressing, which is holding us back from getting the full movement properly. So, by putting your feet on the ground and driving off the ground for something like a toaster bar, one of the things you might be masking is just a lack of core strength, maybe in your lower abdominals, maybe some grip strength. It's going to be slightly different for each individual person. But what that's doing by trying to shortcut the movement in that workout environment is it's really holding you back from getting the long-term goal of being able to get that movement properly. Now, you're just masking the problem that even though if you did the harder variation of the movement, so we looked at doing it from a dead hang position, it's going to slow your time up. There's no doubt about that. But long term, it's going to get you towards getting the full movement, so getting the toaster bar. Whereas masking the problem in the short term to try and get a quicker time, really all it's going to do is it's going to stop you from ever really getting the movement properly. You may get it. You may get a variation of the movement where you can quote unquote put RX next to your name, but to get the movement and move well and to be able to reduce your chance of injury while doing that particular movement, you're never really going to get there. And then you'll get to a point where you'll get frustrated and you'll have to strip everything back. And then it becomes this whole new process again where we've got to build up from the ground up. Whereas if we just take our time in these initial stages, do the scaling options as they're meant to be done, or putting our ego aside for a quick second and realizing that, hey, maybe I'm not quite at the point where I can get my toaster bar, but I can do a really good strict hanging leg raise and dialing it back, doing that for a month or so, and then retesting, retrying the movement. And then once it gets to a point where it becomes a skill acquisition thing, not a strength deficit or a mobility or a movement deficit, then we can go, okay, let's practice the movement. But for the most part, if you're starting from a position where your feet are touching the ground for that particular movement, there's probably some form of deficiency that you're trying to mask, not in a deliberate manner, but more so just in a way that if you find it easier to do the movement quicker, then I would strongly recommend that you do the movement from that dead hang position, slow it down, do a stricter version of the movement. Yes, it's going to be harder. Yes, it's going to slow your time down. But if you're playing this long game where we're trying to move better, be better, and all in all just be all-round better exercises, better athletes, then it's really a step that you need to take to go into that right direction. Another one's pull-ups. Doing pull-ups with your feet touching the ground, and then all of a sudden you move over, do one from a dead hang position. You may find that even though you get that little push off the ground, you can get your chin over the bar, you're not quite able to get even the movement initialized from a dead hang position due to a lack of scapular strength or whatever the case may be. So don't shortchange yourself in the short term. Yes, it's going to be a longer journey. Play the long-term game, and I will guarantee you will get a lot more benefit from it. You'll be able to train for longer, and your risk of injury will reduce heavily. All right, have a good day. Bye.